God bless you, one and all. I just want to make sure you can hear me. Sometimes they mess up the mic, and I don't want to waste your time or mine. Hopefully, it's working. Yay. I know this is annoying, isn't it? It's like, let's start the. Can you hear me? It's annoying. I get it. But still, I don't want to waste your time. So if you could just let me know, I'd appreciate it. Uh, and then we'll jump into everything. Fantastic, Jamie. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I have to waste my time on that, and yours, but I do appreciate it. Um, and Jamie, thanks for the support. Your support is I truly appreciate it. I really do. Uh, Pauletta, God bless you too, and thank you for the support and your wonderful sister Pamela and George and Jay and many others here. uh, Making it so this is possible because they make it very difficult to make it happen. All right, Alan, this guy, huh? Oh my goodness, wow. Uh, yeah, he's a good one to have on our team. Everyone in the Poe outfit there, individually, is strong, and so collectively they just like blot out the East Coast. Okay. Um, Anyway, it's great to have you here. Thank you. We're going to go through some things today. And I guess probably like a lot of times when I go through some of the truth, it isn't easy. So thank you for the prayers, Alan. And God bless you too. And thank God we have some names of God that have some power to help us out of here. And so I do appreciate the help. I really do. Uh, And what an amazing post today, Liberty Gate Academy, Pam and Alan's work and wow. Frank and Gina. Hey. It's good to have you all. We're gonna go through some things today and I'm gonna start to get more at the difficulty of our situation and what to do about it, like try to cut away some more of the shrubbery, yeah, so we can see through, remove some of the veil. I'm just trying to take that so you can see clearly so you can make informed decisions. If you have the truth, then it's like, okay, obviously everyone in here has a good heart and is doing their best and cares about God and their loved ones, obviously. Uh, so the more information that you have that is correct, it just makes your life much easier because you make an informed decision on the information based on your heart and it works out. You see, that's why the truth sets you free because you start to, the debits and credits symbol, right? That cross, everything's like there's no more, oh, like what's going on, and you just go straight through even. No more Shazgara's desires or things that are outside what is necessary to, deal with your day and what's upcoming as you see it for your family, your loved ones, and your situation. You're not looking at things that aren't true anymore. And so every time you decide to do something in your day, you're making that decision based on the truth. And so my job is to provide that so that you can make the best decisions you can. That's the path home to God. That's why the truth, you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. That's why it does it. You see? Uh yeah, Pam, wow. It's you know, I could spend this whole I could spend this whole day on like uh, if you really want to be, kind of the best woman you could be, I really there's so many amazing women that are part of this whole situation, but Pamela's really, I mean, the two sisters are the twin giants. Uh, and Pamela's got that son that, like, is sort of like, it's just incredible because, you bring the best you could do as someone that has children to steward, grandchildren to steward, that God gives us is to give them the truth. And, that's the best we could do. And doing it in a loving way where they have a roof over their head and food to eat. And, I really see that happening with this family. So you got to look to the matriarch and see why it's happening and so on, and all the truth that comes out of that. So, we do have some, uh, good people to look at to see how to make informed decisions in the right way as we go forward. We have each other to do that. And I think everyone in here is pretty good at it. So, all right, Jay, for example. So let's go through today. Um, like we're it, like there's no, maybe somebody else is coming one day, but okay, let's get into this one. Become as children. Okay, we're gonna go through this, all right? Uh oh, I don't want to get cross with you. That's a saying, isn't it? I don't want to get cross with you. Don't make me pull up the debits and credit symbol. Okay. All right, let's I want to look at a few things, okay? Uh because some of this isn't really easy. It really isn't. And now the previous couple Sundays, I think correctly, we've been dealing with a new child coming into the world. And okay, that's very properly being handled and so on. Wonderful. What the right thing to focus on? Nope. Okay. Now that's the example. What? For us? Yeah. Well, I don't have a child coming through. What? No, 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 no. Let's go. Let's go. Let's look at the script. Let's take a reading from the script. uh in the Bible, right? And we're, of course, in the New Testament. Who cares about the Old Testament? Matthew 18:3. Except ye be converted, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whoops. That's quite a something right there. You see what I'm saying? And this is, you know, their mama says quite a similar thing. Uh I didn't pull that up, but this is we get talking, and of course, AI says this means, well, let me tell you what it means. And because I don't really have to tell you what this means, honestly, I bet each one of you could tell me straight up and get the right answer. All right, G, you made it. Great. One would think with all that damn money you've got, you could get somebody that's got enough damn sense to get your electronic stuff working correctly. You would think that, right? But yeah, I didn't side with the devil, so that's why I have my problems. Like, you see, and also my position. It has to be obvious that, because our path is the path of suffering, home to God, and if I'm not suffering, well, do I really have anything to say about the path to God? No. So it has to be ongoing all the time. So yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, you would think that, right? On first glance, you would think that. You would think I wouldn't have to pay so much money to Google and to professionals. You would think that, but totally that's 100% not the case, right, Gene? So you would think that. One would think that if they were all Matrix programmed, they would think that. That's true. Not the case at all. Uh, so, become like children, right? What does that mean? Well, first of all, you know, I remember talking to the devil one day at the drum circle. And, I had an idea. God is always giving me the information as find out about the situation, and tell me about the other team and stuff like that. And I just had an image, like of birth when they come through. They know, they're not. And the devil says to me, "Yeah." You know what I mean? I said something like, "Here you are again, coming through another body," and he's like, "Yeah." And the devil says to me, That look on their face when they look in my eyes and see what I am as a baby. Yeah, that's an issue. You see what I'm saying? Because they know what's up in there, and you can see it if they come through you. You're like, "Oh, I guess I should have done X, Y, and Z, honey. Devil, like it's not, you know what I mean? Because a woman's heart is broken, and then instant, of course, shattered to infinity through the most trauma possible. Uh, God, So, yeah, they don't. They're not children properly. Do you understand? That's the point. They're not children properly. They know. You see, as they come through a body, whatever age they are, they're aware of the whole situation. They're just in a different age body. That's all. So, for us, it's like a children. They don't know anything. Like they don't know anything. They really don't know anything. It's such a trust that God puts on you, right? Because you could tell a child that cold means hot and hot means cold. You could tell them anything enough times, and that would simply repeat it, you see? They would if they live in your house, so you tell them what you tell them, whatever you tell them, that's true because that's all they're gonna know, so that's what happens. You get your memory wiped, and you come in a child's body, and, it's a blackboard that's not written on. The soul is what it is, but the memory, it isn't there, you see? It's gone, it's been wiped, and, but individually, we are who we are. That never changes. Consciousness is never lost. Memory is lost. You see, memory, memory is wiped. It happens it happens every day. Where did you go last night? You don't remember. So that's part of the process here, which makes it extremely difficult. But you could see it play out, so you could understand what's going on. Once you see it, you can understand. So when it says become like a child, it means like that because you have to get rid of your programming as an adult. You know what I mean? You're like, this is all BS. The earth isn't round. We're not on a ball. Like it just goes on and on and on. And you realize you've been lied to this level, and you have to become like a child again and start again. You see what I'm saying? With using proof as your only metric for moving forward out of the child phase because your ego has to just get destroyed. Y'all got over on me and nothing, you know, you realize you're like a child that's been told all this stuff that isn't true. You're just vomiting, this nonsense that you were told. And that's becoming adult. Oh, what? You have to go back and become a child. No, that's not true. Your ego's not into that. You follow me? Oh, that means I was so stupid they got over on me for decades? What? Who's got the will to stomach that awfulness? Ugh, Until you get all the way through your truth, you're like, what? This is just a crazy difficult game that God made to win our soul, and this is all the only thing, and this is actually the nature of God and reality. Oh, okay, okay. You have to know it all. You see, or it overwhelms you like a giant tsunami. I don't know, back into the ocean. It becomes just too much. But instead, you go, man, I've been lied to. You just accept that. Your heart is broken from that. What? Everyone. That means all these, they're either too stupid or they lied to me on purpose. And what, does it matter if I differentiate those 2 groups? They're not helpful to me either way. Either group isn't helpful. If they were not smart enough to figure it out and they've been lying to me for that reason, they know and they've been lying to me. Either group, not helpful. Not helpful in finding the truth, you see? That's a super difficult pill to swallow. What? For anyone, come on, it just is. But then you go, "Oh, okay. So I know nothing," back to the child state. That's Truly, I'm saying you've all lived it, so you know what I'm saying is true. You don't I'm not telling you something you don't know. I'm telling you something you do know. So be like, "Oh, this is going as planned." Yeah, no, just like in the book. This is in the book that you have to become like a child again on purpose. Oh my god, I lied to about everything. What? You know? Back to the child state. That's that, okay? uh, Jay, Brondo has what plants great, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's a perfect example. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But it has what the plants crave. That's why we don't give them water. Water? That's not on the commercial. Totally, totally, dude. Thank you. Thank you. That's a perfect, absolutely perfect example. Perfect. You see, so that means you have to just not accept everything you've been told up to this point, which is just and then you have to go, well, who individually got me to this place? Maybe so I can see from here. Obviously, I know who my guru, got me far along enough to see that. Oh, okay. I bend the knee to him because there's a hierarchy. Oh, okay, and get me out of here. That's becoming a child is saying, okay, this is the path to my father. You're not the father of anything down here. You're the one who bends your knee and looking, get help, lift me out of here, like a child. Help, pull me up and out. That's like a child. Get me out of here. That's all my soul says all day long, or whatever is in here. That's all it radiates. Get me out of here, guys. Like an SOS all day long. That's all I. That's all I'm saying to God. Hey, yeah, no, I'm working. I'm working. But you didn't say I have to turn off the SOS light. That shit stays on to get me out of here. Reminder to God. I was like, yeah, whatever. So that's what that means. You see, so we have a new child coming through. And this is the responsibility that who can get right? What? Alive. Tell them the truth, a child, right as they enter? Who knows the truth to do that? And who would that individual become if they were told the truth from the beginning? How, what would happen to that individual? It's really sort of impossible, right, to even know because it's never happened. So, yeah. So we as adults could become a child faster and move forward faster if we have sense enough to do it because we're not in a child's body. And so I like that, we can say full sentences. We're not in a baby's body and stuff. Even if they have full consciousness, they're still a baby's and then child's body and stuff. So we don't have that. We don't have that limitation. We have this mental and spiritual limitation which we need to overcome. Accept it, so we've been lied to is say, "Okay, I'm only accepting the truth from now on." That's a line in the sand, that's it. And once you accept that, then you can move forward as a child. "Okay, let me see what's over here." That used to be sand. I wonder what it actually is, and every rock and pebble and individual bird and everything you see, every interaction you have, become like a child. It's not what we were told, so you can what's true? Use a yardstick, right? That I made it into a joke, right? Proof up or shut up. But you got to look for who's got the proof. That's all. Who's got the proof? Who've got the proof of they will be known by their fruits? Who's got the fruit of their service? Who has the proof? Right along, who's got it all? Who has all the proof? Otherwise, don't listen to them. Period. Why would you? It don't make no sense. That's what you gave up doing. So you're not gonna listen. That's it. So that's what it become like a child means in this spiritual situation that we find ourselves in. That's what it means, okay? Doesn't I don't know how you could, that's what it means. Doesn't mean other thing. It may have other secondary and tertiary sub part meanings, but they don't mean anything compared to this. This is what no religions are talking about, nothing like that. They're not talking about anything what I'm talking about. Your memory gets wiped, become a man, what? Ain't none of the religions saying any of that stuff. Okay, so uh let's keep I'm gonna go through this list here. It's all gonna relate to the topic though, and I'm gonna weave it together at the end and we'll see where we are now for real. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's just pull back all the curtains in 360 and truly look today. Let's do it once. Let's do it at least once. Let's do it once. That's what we're gonna do today. Let's just pull it back. Until you see the view, me talking about the Grand Canyon ain't gonna do nothing. So let's remove some curtains today. Okay. Okay. So uh if I have time at the end, I'll get back to that stuff, which is signs and symbols. There was one on it, right? We did one last week. Yeah, okay. I have a lot here. I don't want to skip nothing. Okay, become as a child. Matthew 18:3. Great. Conversion. In that script, it said talked about conversion and become as a child. Okay. The truth sets you free. As a child means you know zero until you find the messenger of God and accept the truth from that source or directly from God. That's who has the truth. The messenger from God or God. That's who knows the truth. The rest fall into two groups. They don't know it or they're not allowed to say it. Right? That's if Disney characters say the truth, the game's over. What? There's cheaters? No. There's no cheaters or they don't earn their feathers and wings. No. They're under orders. No. Maybe it looks like they're not under orders to you, but they are, and I hope that I've demonstrated that in my, interviewing them and all that. Like they're not creative and they're not allowed to move outside their perimeters. Period. Come on, I think you could see that, and I see that. So it's a conversion from that to you know, oh, that individual is, and they know who I am. All of them know who I am. Either you start listening to me or God directly, right? And not the shadow of God here, who they listen to, o- or what? They're going to keep doing the same thing. That's a conversion. You see. Uh, I'll get into that too if I yeah after. Okay, we're going to come back to that. Yeah, that'll be good one. That'll be good one. Okay, so let's just Luke 2 or like early in the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Johners, you know what I'm saying? Those scripts, and they are a script. They're called scripture. What do you say? It's not a script. If that's what they're called. So listen, the Avatar's never born. Ever. Never comes through a woman. Nope. Doesn't. No. Does not. Doesn't happen. Did I? No. 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 Is there another time loop? No. Error in the script. What? Jesus is born to a woman. No. You see what I'm saying? So are the scripts valid if they're saying right from the jump, right from the beginning, you can't see through that? What? That's what happens around me. People come through women. That's how they get here. No. No. No, 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 no. It's not only the avatar. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm special. I'm the only one that doesn't come. I'm not saying that either. Everyone who's here in 1969 on that day, obviously, there was no 9 months and extra years. What? That isn't there. You know, tell certain women, they take that as a diss. It's like, what? I'm not saying that at all, and I'm not saying what you do is wrong. It has the like, no, that's not any connect there that I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say just what's going on here. That's all I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to say try to put the weight of good and bad or nothing like that. I'm trying to say, let's pull back the curtain and just say the way reality is. That's all. And accept it. And then you can see the view because only that view matters and no other view matters. So now that we read that bit of scripture, yeah, right, we did read a bit of scripture, right? Become as a child. Now we need to read what Bear Mama had to say after I said that about Jesus and the Avatar and the time loop. Uh, let's just go through what Bear Mama said about scriptures. If you think what Bear Mama has written is really true, then let's see what he says about scripture. And I know almost everyone here has read it, but let's just read it word for word at the time when we need to read it right now. And here it is on, some website, easy to read. In February 1958, Francis Babajan wrote to Mayor Baba saying that he was reading the scriptures of various religions to help him write a book, Stay with God, a Statement and Illusion on Reality, name of the book. Baba writes him back, quote, the scriptures are like rotten bones, rotted, and are as food for worms. Theosophy and philosophy are like good bones, rotted, and are for food, and are as food for vultures. The writings of inspired poets are like fresh bones and are as food for dogs. The writings of spiritually advanced saints are like flesh and are as good, I'm sorry, are as food for tigers. Man, I had that. That was a tough one to get out. My apologies. The writings by living perfect masters are like brain and are as food for men. Good bones, when rotted, have some semblance of bone, but rotten bones, when rotted, are like filth. So you may go through the scriptures superficially, only to drive away the barking dogs when necessary. For instance, when you are called upon to answer the queries of the priests and the Orthodox. This uh the woman who popped in pregnant, the women the women who popped in pregnant are interesting to think about. Yeah, these babies seem to be immaculately conceived. Yes, but born after the start. Yeah, thank you. There's so many interesting pieces to this. You know what I'm saying? Everything you look at for what's going on, just the essence of the whole situation becomes God is so impossible to fathom. It's so incredibly far past what anyone has said in any scripture or book or anything. People have no idea. Until they see the truth, they don't have their mind on God all the time. But everything you see is impossible. Everything. How is a tree alive? What is dirt? How is a sea separate from the sand? Everything. Where's the tide coming from? How's the air clean? It never ends. Nothing. Nothing. Every single little tiny thing we've been lied to about is a miracle. The way you look at it, it's not possible. It doesn't happen the way they say. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing we're told. When you actually look at the truth of it, every single individual uh and then system and everything just shows you that God is real. And almost past emotion, you know what I'm saying? Like, your emotions can't even gather it up. What am I afraid? What am I love God? It's everything, you don't there's nothing that doesn't flow to you like, it's way past too much, you see? That's why you need to pearl back the garden and see it and accept it, and bend the knee and be like, "Just anything you say, God, you're right and I'm wrong, and so just tell me what." You see? Nothing works the way we were told, that's what I'm saying, and so you must become as a child. Uh, which the people in here, I'm pointing out again, you're in that process, so you done it, you're doing it. So I'm simply pointing out, that it matches all the, helpful spiritual advice we're given. It is following it right along. Ah, Kelly. Who makes our clothing? All the threads put together is so complex for something so simple. Exactly. All this stuff pops out of the ether. Some things are made in some factories and stuff, but if you actually looked at the cost to do it and the time and stuff, it wouldn't make any sense to sell things at what they cost or nothing like that. No, 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 no. And yeah, no, it's very strange. Mir Mama said all the avatars are born in India or near India, and was asked why one time. He says closest to the creation point, meaning where everything pops out of the ether, which to me is somewhere China, Taiwan. How can everything be made on a tiny island called Taiwan? What? And all the semiconductors and used to be at the beginning of the jump, everything was made in Taiwan. What is a tiny little fuck? It's a tiny little island. And you should have the gall to put that on everything in the world? What? Everything's made there? Wait, what? It's just nothing. Not a single thing makes a lick of sense up in here, no. No, it just don't. It doesn't. I'm an accountant. I need it to add up, and nothing does. You see? It all adds up to infinity. It all is up to God. You see, it's like, okay, well, we have another equation and it's infinity. Which is just a symbol for God because it's like, nope, just can't say. Okay, we'll have a symbol for just because that'll mean everything. Okay. Jay, I bought black raspberry from the grocery store. So they came from Peru. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Come on, like obviously these ships get filled with something and show up on ports. Where and how? They need a navy to watch over it all this stuff. Everyone comes back scarred from the navy once they find out what's up. Never say anything or else. It's like they really don't say anything. It's like y'all must see. Yeah, is you get taken to the place where it all pops out. Uh-huh, uh-huh. And then you're on a ship and they're gonna murder you, and now you don't talk. Okay. That's a freak out, eh? Navy. Navy strong. No. Uh, that's the deal with scripture, okay? I mean, here's the deal, right? And I guess it hopefully it ain't coming out egotistical at this point. You follow me? Martin. Oh, interesting. This guy. Y'all should know about Martin Gomez and says some prayers for this guy. This guy brings a lot of people to Liberty and Academy. And dude, I just want to say, I hope God watches over you and your family always, every second and day and night. You don't ask for nothing or nothing. You hardly ever show up, and dude, you absolutely pull so many people to the truth. You were I'm just saying I know all about you and I tell God all about you, buddy. You're on a list. You're on a good list. Uh, but seriously, I mean that too. And what I say matters is the point of this today's discussion. It does. Uh because okay You know, if the scripts aren't real, Jesus didn't live. You could see it yourself. Come on. Try going somewhere and telling the truth. They don't flock to you, they flee from you. That's it. You see? The guy didn't live. But it's an important message. Every bit of it is an important message because, you know, God is coming in the form of Jesus Christ. And on a certain day, 9/11, 2033, that is going to happen. So, they'd rather believe it's hazy an absurd baby math. No, it's sad. It is sad. Uh, a good question. I wonder what group sees the stuff coming from the source and are scared for life. Seriously, you could see the trauma in the Navy crew. I'll tell you what, they're all lost. And I mean, completely lost at sea, that crew. Long gone. Maybe they ain't even in there. There's nothing in there. I know I got a Navy SEAL, stepson, so I know all about it. Uh, as I was saying, I hope this don't come out egotistical, but listen, the only living perfect masters are the one to listen to. You follow me? And do you know another one? Is, and really, really, they don't say the truth. They hold a space, for the avatar. That's right about what Mayor Papa says. But after the avatar pops through, they're still doing their job and stuff like that. The whole place has to run, and everyone's in a different spiritual spot, and taking new bodies. That's all happening. Okay, but whom to listen to leave, to become as a child, and then I need to fill it up with the truth and listen to it, and then I leave because then my actions reflect the truth, and then I get out of here. That's it. So who's got the truth? The one who won the game first, who has all the truth. That's just that's you understand. Two people can't win the game at the same time. That's not possible. If time exists, right, then there's a time when someone wins, and then there's a time when someone wins later in a time loop. That's a part of the process. That can't not that's just a part of the game. Happens in time, has to happen. It's one of the things, but that's the item to look to. You see what I'm saying? Who won the game first? And you go, oh, how did you win the game? That's all. That's rational, logical. That's what? Who else would you ask? Does it for any game, oh, you jumped off the rock into the river down there? Yeah. Well, which rock did you jump off of? I don't want to die like that. That's all. You see that one? Do you want to go first while I watch? Yeah, yeah. How come I got to go first every time? I'll tell you what rock. Jump off of that rock. You see. So at some point, you get tired of jumping into the river from 100 feet, and you just point at the rock. Somebody take some pictures and tell somebody else. I'm tired of telling. Kelly, my dad was in Vietnam, right? And he refuses to ever talk about it, right? They know something. Yeah, they know the time loop. They know the characters know, and they just can't say, or they remove your spiritual progress. They understand that about the game. Telling someone the game makes it so they leap forward, not based on their own actions. That's breaking the rules of the game. And so you go backwards. No one wants that for you, especially not your father. I bought all the Beer Baba book. Great. I would like to donate to the trust once I'm finished reading. Oh, that's sweet. I got a lot of Beer Baba books. I collect certain ones. I only have certain items around me physically. I don't have other items. I'm gonna get into that with you, Kelly. I'm glad you brought that up. I would have finished with this thought, and then we will talk about that, Kelly. That's very important to talk about. Thank you very much. And it is good to, one, get Bear Baba books, read them, and then second, pass them along. Totally. I'm with you. I do that. Great. Just so we can say that before we get back into it. Yes. Okay. Uh, Martin, I explain this people all the time doing their research. Yeah. They can only be one trust that's the best. Yeah. Not all these fake competitors with gobbledygook terms and no proof. That's this guy. I'm telling you, just as like super smart as Alan is, this guy, Marion brings a lot of people, and that is super important to my work because I pay so much money to spend so much of my time out there as a marker. Come to the circus, people, So to have someone else achieve that, man, do I notice. And so does my whole team. Yeah, Jamie is shy. Like we all notice, and so you need anything, you let us know where you're our guy, Martin. I mean it. Uh, so you have to find, like Bear Mama said, really in all his writing. I want to say half of the stuff he wrote is like find a living perfect pastor and go listen to him. That's and here's the reasons why is the rest of it, because creation happens, but then what do you do, right? Meditate. Yeah, learn how to meditate. This is how you meditate, and then find the perfect balance. Sit there for a minute and think about it, and then go find the perfect balance. Right? That's all he said. Pretty much. A whole bunch of other little details that relate to that overarching view of reality. Uh, I take my job seriously. I don't have a day off or something like that. I have days when I can't do as much and my pattern of rest is so on, but there's never days when like unless I'm traveling to India or something like that, usually there's an airport or something I'm checking into. But like this hurricane was my first, couple days off in a row ever that I can remember, honestly. Uh, so you know, that I take my work seriously. I know who I am. Like your mom was like, I know I'm the avatar. So you got a question here? So you want me to explain it to you? Like, yeah, we're walking on the beach, Siesta Key the other day. That beach is even more as beautiful as it ever has been. The third storm wiped it clean is so perfect. Siesta Key is so beautiful. It has parking because people are like, I bet the beaches are good. Oh my god, it's so good. And the drum circles today. But anyway, I've been going to the beach a few times a week up there because the snowbirds aren't in full force yet. And the beach is gorgeous. So I need to get in the ocean and walk on the beach and be with God. Like every day the weather's good is why I'm here anyway. If I don't get that time, a little bit of time, I cannot function as I need to. So, but when I was walking on the Siesta Key the other day, there's a group of the Christians right there. I'm like, oh, hi. I was like, do you think that God, on the number one beach in America, number one spot, right? Where in America, the number one beach, do you think that God was stationed like somewhere here, a messenger state, like here? Do you think that? Because that's me. And so, and then basically told him some stuff about the time loop and stuff on my way in. And I knew once I walked past them, I go for a walk on the beach and they wouldn't be there. And they weren't. And at the end, I didn't spend that long there, but a few minutes only. And just explained what Christ means and the 64-year time loop and the meaning of the cross and a few basic things. And one or two of them did say nothing. Basically, I'm like, well, so that's the truth. And all you guys question is you don't have anything to say on the truth. So I'm going to continue on. And y'all are destined to hell. You see what I'm saying? Like, because you didn't accept the truth. So you're bound for hell. And that's my job as a messenger. Right? He's coming. And if you don't clean up your act right now, because here I am right in front of you, and you didn't do it, so off you go to hell. And I went to the beach, and that's my job. That's my job. That's my job, is to send everyone to hell. Bear Bond was like, 3/4 of the earth will die. Of everyone will die. That's his yeah, he said that. Well, I'd say that's a very, you know, kind, optimistic number, you know what I'm saying? Like, is the way I look at it, you know? Uh, I did have one more quote from Bear Baba, which I think is really important. Da, 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 this is so good. It's Will o' the Wisp is what this little title is called here on Bear Baba. And this is a quote from Life at Its Best. And that's the name of the little section. It's a book of little, sections called Life at Its Best. Just little uh things from Bear Baba. And this is a short one, and I'm gonna read it to you. Look at your own shadow. It seems so near to you. It is adjoining you, but you cannot grasp it nor overtake it in a race. You may chase your shadow till doomsday, but it will still evade you and remain a bit ahead of you. Seeking God through the ego mind is like trying to overtake your own shadow. It cannot be done. Not because God is in any way far off, but because you can never get the real through the false. The real is gained only when the false is given up. God is nearer to you than your own shadow. In fact, He is not only within you, but He is your very self. You cannot get at Him, for you seek Him through the ego mind, which converts Him into the will of the wisp. So you need a conversion from that, right? Sorry. The ego mind must meet actual death. Actual death must meet actual death if God is to be seen and realized. So that you didn't know Bear Baba talked about doomsday, did you? But he did. And they did it real short like that. Not on Jesus talking about it bigger, Revelation is longer, me, right? Longer. Bear Baba, short. That whole thing is all about doomsday right there in our life. Is short. My dog is listening so intently excited. I have never seen him like this. This is so good. But see, Bear Baba, right? D- what do you think he's going to use the word doomsday, but there's no doomsday. Make up your mind. You're listening to Bear Baba. Which one are you doing? Which one are you doing? You are or you're not. There is a doomsday or there's not. Which one? So when is it? Why is it? Who has those answers? You see them say you can't go, oh my God, everyone has the perfect truth. And then you can't say, well, except for that part. No, kid, there's no except for. Uh, nope. But is the scripture? Bear Bible's the scripture too, in a way. You follow me? Crazy, right? So then we're lost. But in that, let's go back to the will of the wisp. God is playing every part. That's what you have to see. God is playing every part. There's simply a veil between your current experience that is your reality. I'm not experiencing myself as one with God in absolute bliss, and I don't know that stuff. I listen to Jack. I hear what he's saying. It makes logical sense. I see it all around me right now, but I don't know that for a fact because I know it because it's inside me. I know it like I lived it. I don't know that. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between being on the seventh plane and not. Like I intellectually get this. I lived certain steps of this in a spiritual path, but this is the rest of it. That makes total sense. I'm hearing from a guy that been in it, and there he marks every spiritual plane, how it happens, everything. So easy to see. If you're on the path and you've treaded that path, and you see, I can say it's so easy, you can see it yourself. Oh, okay. And you could see the books are off. Even Mayor Obama's books, it's like, well, this so yeah, okay, doomsday. Well, it wasn't exactly the main topic. You really had to drill down to see that thing, right? Maybe you never did until I said it. But there it is, you see? And who else talks about it, by the way? Who else talks about that stuff? The apocalypse in the Sutra, the Buddha describes an apocalypse where seven suns appear in the sky, each causing more ruin until the earth is destroyed. Seven plagues, right? Baba and Buddha have the same number. Oh, thank you, God. 8,400,000 lifetimes. Buddha says the same number as Bear Baba. Same number. Who else has anything to say about this business of doomsday? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals his doomsday form at the end of an eon as a fiery being with a gaping mouth that swallows all creatures in the universe. Judgment Day in Islam, Wikipedia. In Islam, quote, the promise and threat, end quote, of Judgment Day, the promise and threat, uh, is when all bodies will be resurrected from the dead and all people are called to account for their deeds and their faith during their life on earth. It has been called the dominant message of the holy book of Islam and Quran. That's my message. That's all my. That's the message the messenger has. He's coming on this day. What you want me to tell you why and the rest of the details? Sure, sure. We got 9 years. I can explain it to you. We got 9 years left, but that's my only message. I don't have another message. The messenger does not have another message. Only one. There's one God, and you're going to get joined up with him, and you will meet your maker for a fact. And you get judged, so you join up or you go again. 100% for a fact. There has never been anything else going on, nor will there ever be anything else going on, is the only message ever. There is no other message. There's not going to be another flag about something else. There's not going to be another symbol on another giant corporation or bank. They're never going to have another message. Never. There is no other message. There's not going to be another message. There's one message. It's in all the books. It's in all the scripts. And the only living guy that, has any proof, it's the only thing I'm saying. That's it. You see? So if you don't listen to me, because the rest are books, how do you listen to them? Hey, Mr. Book over there, Mr. Script, can you? They can't. So, like I said, I did equivocate. I said you either get it from the living perfect master for God directly. And my goal is that you get it from God directly, meaning you're not separate from God. And so it either happens while you're alive and you must meet death, must die and come back to life in this body. It says it right there. Mayor Mama said it. Actual death. Actual. Have to get tossed back in the body. Or at death, you could get just said. That's it. Actual death, though. It has to happen. Has to. I'm going to be twice already here. Has to happen. You should be fearing God, not death. It's so funny. Everything is opposite here. Everything is opposite. Death is the only event that gives freedom and is so to meet with God is not describable. Is so the greatest, onlyest. There's nothing else to do. What? Die? Yes. What? I can't kill myself. It's like I found Gypsy and rode him around yesterday a little bit. Went to the drum circle with him. Hey, he's live, and he's Yeah, he's the next Beijing on the beach, you know what I mean? Who I have to handle and get him back to life, you know? And, oh my god. He sees the cops, he sleeps on the beach every night, and he sees the cops every night, you know? And he'll see the cops some point in the night and be like, "How many calls on me tonight?" The guy's like, "Not that many, 6." They don't even like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, they did bring him to jail for the storms because he was sleeping on the beach because they didn't want him to die because he's not allowed to die, and I told him that before and after. I was like, "You're not allowed to die." He's like, "I go swimming out of the ocean too far." And I try and like, "You're not allowed to die. You can't do that." He's like, "I know, I've been trying," and I was like, "I know you've been trying. I've been here, you've been trying, and the cops had to go get you. I know you've been trying. You can't do it. You're not allowed." I I told him, he's like he finally accepted that. He's like, "I'm coming to live down the beach near you." I was like, "Okay, you're fine, good. Well, I've got stuff to talk about." Because he's like, "Man, everybody else." Yeah, I was like, "I know. I'm not everybody else. You're cool. They got problems that you don't. That's the truth." Oh, yeah, not allowed. I say not allowed. God says me. I don't say you're not allowed to die. I'm the messenger. I'm like, "Hey, guess what? You're not allowed to die." That's God. You're not allowed to die. Sorry, you're gonna win. So you can't. This whole dark night of the soul where you sleep on the beach. You're easy to spot. God sends you right over here. And so guess what? I fell him in face to face. He's doing better. He's a sweet guy. Of course, she's sweet. You know, he's just far on the path. So, okay. I mean, I'm trying to do this a kind, gentle, way. Uh, have this talk, but and listen. Uh, I know this burns within everyone at some point, because it's the book, apostles gotta deny or not deny or right? But it's not a denial to someone else, it's within yourself. And God is, God's watching everything, but He's watching everything, including what you feel and think and decide to act on. Because what is inside of you produces your actions. It's not when you maybe say something or whatever, but actually what's inside you that makes you act. It's like I'm gonna go out in the ocean. I see, yeah, you'll be coming back. Send it back. No, you can't do that. No, uh-uh. I just hear, the worryings of the time loop. I don't create 'em or nothing like that. I just hear the warp and weft as it goes forward and creates this tapestry. I just know it. And why? Because my father and I are one. I know who my father. I know. I do what God says because God is God. And this, I don't even know what God is. God is so far past knowing what God is. But you know what God is. You can't say it because it doesn't fit in words. But you can just become back to the veils removed and you're a part of it, just like you. But it's just without the veil. So the goal is to remove the veil. That's all. And everyone is gonna do it. You're all gonna become successful, like, you all successfully open a trust. You will be 100% successful. The goal is to be 100% successful this lifetime. You see, and to put enough knowledge inside the child, right? So that all their actions from then on out are, "Oh, I know the truth and I'm acting on the truth." No errors. You see what I'm saying? And then you wipe your slate clean, and off you go back to God. That's it. That's it. If you got a bunch of fairy tales and lies inside you act on it, how you gonna get to God? You'll be lost in the brambles and the sticker bushes. Where's the path? Right? You're never gonna make it. And that's the goal of the game, is that is a difficult path. And no one can find it until you're correctly going down there and someone's saying, right this way. So, oh, you want to know? You see who I am? I got the truth. And you want to, whoa, this is the path. Here you go. I can't do that. Okay, no, you can't, right? You decided you can, so you can't. I could do that. Yeah, you can sign it. Of course, you can sign the trust, and off you go down the path. You see, it's up to you. The guy's right there. You would walk right down the path, right down. That's how I got there. It's right over there. He's right over there. Just walk down the path, sign the trust, and off you go. So easy. That's it. But who's who and what's whose name and so on. The care. So was there a Jesus Christ? I mean, he's coming. You see what I'm saying? Is there Buddha that people can pray to? Yes. But did they live in a separate time loop? No. You know, they lived in a mind loop of God where all this, you know, is in the backdrop of this place, and God fulfills it with life, including past avatars, and gives them life to our present, but they never took a form in a human form at a time when they did it. No, because God plays a fair game. God had made separate loops so separate souls had a separate game. That would be you or me saying God is unfair, and you know nothing about God if you think God is unfair. God is there's so it's an impossibility that God can be unfair. That is, if anything is the essence of the nature of God, that is. Is the game hard? Woo! God level hard. But is God fair? Is the game fair? Yes, the game is fair, and it has to be a time loop to be fair. How else logically could it be fair if we were playing the same game? Time exists, so we would have to play the same amount of time, the same game, right? How else are you going to look at the standings and the rankings, right? Oh, well, we're going to play basketball in the NBA, and the Lakers play 30 minutes, right? This section they play 30 minutes, and these play 45, right? And these play 10 minutes, and they don't even play. What? Who would even watch basketball? Who would care? That's not even our nature. We want a fair game, right? Everything's a rigged game here, though. It's all rigged. It's all rigged. But our nature is a fair game. And that's why we're so easily duped, right? Because we're like, oh, everyone's like us with a kind heart. And of course we would play a fair game. Yeah, that's not their nature yet. But that is your nature. And that's the nature of God. And you wouldn't accept, being with a God that did not have that nature. So that is the nature of God, and that's the nature of you. That's why you're not separate from God on that, which is the main point. There's no separation between you and God on that point. You see? So the essence of what God is and the essence of what you are, the current is already drawn back on that. Yes? Yes? Okay. So then, accepting the time loop, what other character is Avatar besides John McCaig? John Jack, whatever annoying ass, hard to spell last name. What the could it get an easy little no, that's even gotta be annoying. Oh my god. The love trust, that's funny. Uh, so there is only gonna be one character playing Avatar. It's not gonna be Buddha, it's not gonna be Jesus Christ, it's not gonna be one of the bodies that you're currently inhabiting. It's not going to be. The Avatar is the first one to win the game. The game's always the same every time. John McCaig's the name of the character who wins the game every time. John, Jack, whatever. That character must be played by somebody else. So who am I? You see, I'm still working on that. You see what I'm saying? Like, do I get my name in something? Do I receive that at the end? In The Wizard of Oz, they get that at the end. Okay. Oh, fuck, that's who I am, right? I was like, yeah, back in there. There you go. That's who you are. How? Okay, but if that's not true, then you're saying again, God is a fair. No, it's got to be another character. You could never. That'd be a totally different script every time. It's against the nature of God, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it looks infinitely, "Oh my god, all this stuff's going on, and God is infinite." It's just a big smoke and mirrors, totally big. But, through it all, you see the nature of God is fair, and this will never change. The nature of God being fair doesn't change, and so the nature of unchangingness, God is unchanging. Ergo, the loop of time cannot change. God is unchanging, will not be changing. The nature of God doesn't change. God doesn't have this and that. This, that. Oh, I evolved to here. No. God is, always was. Time is not a part of God. God simply always has been and ever will be and all that stuff. And time doesn't attach to God. Time attaches to this game, but not to God. That's it. So the nature of these drops of God returning to the ocean, they change. But they just when a drop hits the sea again, you see the ocean change from, "Oh, boy, that drop of clear water entered the giant ocean." Did you see the ocean change? No. Not even. If you dump a sea in like a biggest river on earth, go look in the middle of the ocean looks the same. Doesn't look different. You see? So some people have realized this and are really extremely supportive of what I'm doing here and helping me directly. You see what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. People give donations and so on. And the nature of donations via money is actually super helpful to me because I'm able to advertise. I'm able to. I'm not into things that much. I'm just not. I don't like to move and I don't like to travel that much. I really don't. Uh, I do that for others. But I really that's not my nature. I don't like to change either. I just don't. Uh, I know my work, and if I'm in one spot and I have electricity and internet and food and, like a beach, I could do my job every day as best as I can for everybody, and I don't have anything outside of, God give me a job to do, and then I don't who cares what else is going on? I don't, There's no other that's it. And it's only how can I help other people do that job better? There's nothing past that. And so for the very few people that have understood the situation that I've explained and my, individual, character that I'm playing here, and where it sits in the, you know, hierarchy of everything here, it's meaningful for people to be able to do like with their actions to support it in a meaningful, correct way. Because trying to help me in the wrong way just slows me down and makes it so I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? So, and whose fault is that? I mean, probably it's my fault, really, because maybe I'm not saying enough about myself. Uh, Individually, I'm more talking about the situation and, the time loop and God and trying to help people. I'm not always talking about myself and like what I do every day to day. I guess sometimes I do, but I just, you know, uh, I don't want to get uh, caught in the spot where you think I'm, catching into the ego thing and so on. I just had a guy to do my job. I got to make it 9 years. That's all. And if I got a platform to do that and a way to do that better, then I can serve better. That's all. So the people directly making donations and stuff like that, helping. Uh, I mean, that's doing the best so I could do my best. It really is. Uh, so because if you don't support the avatar here, what else comes back on you? That's the main. Don't you understand? I'm the walking around yardstick that everybody gets judged up on because I'm the embodiment of the truth. So the truth sets you free, will put you right back in a cage, put you in a can. So everyone's individual reaction when I'm walking around, that's how they get it. You see? That's why I go to different places, not because I like travel or something like that. Because I could give people the experience they deserve to have. I, for one, enjoy listening you speak about your day to day, but that's just me, Jay. Thanks. And that's, people do want to support my day to day, and people do it in different ways. And that's why I want to be more exacting a little bit about the information. So I kind of got at this, and uh, let's see if I have anything else to go over. Right, there's one God that plays every role, so there's only one God, and you're not separate from God. So, all right, I it's always nice when a lamb, you know, runs off in the woods to get eaten by wolves, you know, and you told him 100 times not to do that, and you even had to get the crook around their neck and be like, "Get back over here." And when you're not looking, they run over there, but when they come back, you're like, "Okay, you lived, and you did it. Maybe don't do that again, eh? Look at me." So it's good when that happens, and it's kind of like Bear Mama's story about the mischievous chicken, right? The mother chicken says, "Get under my wings. Don't look, right? Stay under here, safe under here." And Bear Mama's the one that kept the chick that kept looking out under the wings, saying, right? "I need to know. What's going on up there? Let me look at the dome." You know, and the chick that kept going out until one day it just stayed out there. Was like, "Oh, okay, that's the mischievous chicken," but Bear Mama calls him Satan. So, uh, Bear Mama give him the title, give himself the title of Satan. So, and Christ both gave himself both titles. Right? If God is in here, right? If the light is in here, how is the light not the shadow? What? Please, please, you see that, right? The Bear Mama people walk around with a chicken on, like Satan, right? They're like, what? I'm like, they don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any different, Alec. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, you know, me, we, was same symbols. It's the same thing. It's the one who knows, right? Yeah, I don't. What one little eye, right? One little. Let's add an eye. Which eye? The eye of God? Which eye are we adding? The eye individual, or you see? It's a title. The one who knows. I'm not going to shorten the time loop. I've said I'm not going to turn into. I'm. How do I not have that title? I can tell the devil what to do. Fuck off. I'm sorry. Anyway, no. I'm sorry. No. In answer to your, you know, all the money in the kingdoms, the answer is no, thank you. No, thank you. Bye. Right, it sort of has the word Satan in there. It does. It does. The eye of God. So it's like the one who knows, but not the one who falls, right? Right? Not the one who falls. The one who let me get into the falling position here where everybody falls. When they get the knowledge, the only thing is I ain't gonna fall. Let me hold steady here and I'll fall. I help you. You see to say I have the knowledge, but I'm not gonna turn into the devil. I don't. This world is empty. You see, it literally is empty. Literally, it's empty. It's all air in the air. It's empty, really. It's space. God is everything and everything else is nothing, people. Thank you. So God is always both. He has to be. Thank you. It's true. Someone has to play the role, you see, of duality, but it's false. It doesn't exist. It's only this ball and we're going home. So you have to listen to someone who made it there and support them with your actions. What? Oh, no, I say Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's not it. Who's a living perfect master? Because there's a spiritual hierarchy. I have to get into it. I have to listen. Then I have to become it. That's what we have to do. You see what I bet my knee to the perfect master that got me here. It's not like the avatar doesn't do that. Not like Bear Brahma didn't do it, right? He had someone he listened to, and that is, he said, "Off you go." There are five perfect masters, and I come along, and one drops out, and no, that's what he said. What would the avatar have to say to anyone if they didn't get their memory wiped too? How can you be saying anything useful to anyone in the game who has their memory wiped? You wouldn't be having any of the experience they're having, right? You wouldn't be able to say anything. You have to win the game, meaning you get your memory wiped and then you win it after the wipe. You have to. Well, you have nothing to say to anyone. Nothing, not a word. Shut up. You have nothing. You have nothing. You see? Avatar has to do that or they would have nothing for anyone. Please. They have to be able to do what we all have to do, right? Just do it first. I need to hear from you, God, right? I seem to be making an error on this pathway, consistent errors. I need to hear every step from you from now on. Tell me. That's the goal. Just to never make a misstep because we're always listening. Or, within a certain range, oh, is that the smell of samosas over there? Yes, I said the smell of samosas. Head on over, Uh, yes, exactly, Pamela. Thank you. Thank you. So, you know, uh, I have had great support, and thank you for the donations for people who've given. I can't continue without them. But I got a package this week, and so I realized I don't say enough about myself, honestly, from what I got in this package, which was kind of like run of the mill stuff. But I actually live my way in a very 63-year-old physical body, supposedly cut short by 8, so let's call it 54 or whichever number. But I've been running this thing around a while, so I've had to interact with the world in certain ways so I maximize my usefulness to people. That's all the way I look at, like, things in my life. Uh, like, this was a nice package, and I got some shirts in it. It was lovely. I must wear the same shirts year after year, no doubt, I do. But if I was gonna have a new shirt, I would have a rayon shirt, rayon only kind of shirt I wear. And this was too small because it was made in India, so it's an XL. So any XXL, if it's rayon, that's pretty much any one. And the only one that has shirts of the design I like, and they're all rayon, is Nordstrom's that I found. So anyway, so I appreciate the shirts, but that's and so on down that type of thinking. Like I only use Dr. Bronner's soap if I can help it because it's good in cold water and hot. Sometimes we ain't got no cold, hot water in Florida, but it's warm enough here, and it actually cleans better on me. So, and it doesn't hurt the environment. And I use a bar soap, and I don't use uh, like I use plain or orange, pretty much. I'm just saying I got a box, you know what I'm saying? Uh, thank you. And, uh, I'm semi-vegetarian, I eat some eggs and dairy. So, uh, and this was someone, took the time to send this and everything, and I appreciate that. Thank you. it was received and you're prayed for and accepted back into the flock. So it's not like that, but you have to pay more attention to your shepherd, or maybe your shepherd needs to tell more to the flock is what that's a possibility too, is what I realized on my end. Do you see what I'm saying? And so why am I saying these things? Because it seems like I'm very particular. I am very particular, and I'm sure you are too in your own way. But I don't have a lot of things. What I've learned in my life is if I only have just one of the right thing, I don't need any other things, and that thing lasts longer if it's the one that works for me. And it plays out weirdly, uh, like if I have a water bottle, I go into like gas station or whatever, I'm getting gas, and I'll find a water bottle in there with like, looks like it's gonna be durable and look cleaner longer, and I'll just use that thing for a year or 6 months or whatever, because it's simple and it doesn't make me look any different. It doesn't have any special qualities, and uh, I don't need anything necessarily to be cold or hot. I just drink water when I'm out. So, uh, like that. um, and I know this sounds funny to go through these things, but if there is a living perfect master and y'all are trying to support him with your prayers and so on, I realize I haven't said enough about myself. So in general, I wanted to answer these things. Uh, but like I only eat rice noodles. I don't like to eat wheat noodles, wheat based noodles. Rice noodles are rice better. So I have one shirt. It sounds crazy. Now I have two, but no, that's what I'm saying. You see, this world doesn't matter so much, and if you have something in your space that isn't useful, I have a hard time tolerating it. So if I get things that aren't useful, I don't feel good about. Oh, let's just toss them in the trash. No, these are useful things, and someone will find them useful. So then I have to get them to someone, which isn't that difficult in this park I live in, and so on. But my goal is to have the most energy every day. I need exercise. I need food. I'm the messenger. So I have to receive messages and then give them out. And so this is the receiving and giving out device. It has to function. That's the way I see it. It has to function properly. So if I can find the right products, things, how to do that job best is all I care about. And so that's what those things add up to me to do. You see? That's simple. Water bottle and eat cleans impurities. No, I know. But I have a reverse osmosis built into the countertop here, which is even better and so on. So to not have to carry around a filter with me saves me a burden. So you see what I'm saying? Like, uh, and the practicality of your actions starts in the small things, everyone. They do. They do. The gifts to me matter, that you cared and put on your mind, and caring enough to see what would be useful for him and thought it through from your heart, that returns to you. Other people have done this for me, and it absolutely returns to them. But then I turn their rudder a little bit and put it in the water, and they become very helpful and useful when they listen to what my needs are. You know what I'm saying? Like, love you too, Kelly. Like Alan, you know what I'm saying? This guy, what a guy, smartest guy, as smart as anyone I've ever met in my life, if not the smartest. Uh, you know, is willing to come to India with me and learn about me and so on. And I would just say no one's been more helpful or watchful over me or something like that. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Reagan totally picked the right guy. Good for you, Reagan. Wow, and what a blessing to come into a family to have Alan. But it's from lack of knowledge. It's sort of, and that's my fault. But Alan took the time to learn and and I told him and stuff, and it just made it easier in my life, to do that. So I appreciate that, and I'm not complex, but I am particular only because you know It's I can do my job best for you. Really, that's, you know, if not 100% focus of my life, pretty high focus. That's why I'm here by myself, living here now with a cat. So it is my focus. And no one can change that focus and no one will. Some people get upset by that, but my job is to get you the truth and to be the best at it as possible because I got to answer debits and credits. The accountant got to go back on his knees right in front of the guy, and I'm going to get weighed again. So I'm going to do my best. So my giving you this information has nothing to do with, other than that. Me getting back there on my knees and have tried to do my best and operate in this world as best as I can to keep this body alive and as functional as possible till I get to the day. Because I got, people that need the answer. If you're up into a situation, you can't say, "Well, I can wait. If you got a baby on the way, I can wait for the information." No, you can't. Can't wait. You need it, and etc. You need it now. This is a timed game. When I get a question, you need the answer. I need to give it to you. So it feels unusual to get into this information. You know what I'm saying? It is. But it's an acceptance of the situation, like, uh, all the Mandalay will want to give their mama certain things and do certain things, but you have to tell them what to do because the work is the work, and to be most supportive is let me do the work and let me answer the questions. Let me do that, and if I get other things to deal with, then it just makes our work harder. If I get the right things to support me, it makes my job easier. And that is borne out on your side, right? Did you help me or did you hurt me? Well, I was trying to help him. Well, isn't that on me if I didn't tell you my particulars so you couldn't help me? How could you do it? You see the saying that's on me, not on you. So that's the reason I'm going into some of this stuff. Okay. All right. I think that's a lot for one. That's 90 minutes of this stuff. And of course, we're not finished with the information here, but I hope that I pulled back the curtain and allowed you to see the real situation here. I hope that I did today because until you see for what it is, you know, how can you possibly get out of here? And that's my only job is to get you back to God. I don't care about nothing else. What? Everyone has hated me at some point for what I said to them. I don't care about that. I care you get to God because I got to go in front of that guy and he's going to judge me based on how I did for you. So I just got to do my best. I do what God says, right? They need this, so tell them. Want to sit here and talk about things in the boxes in my life in particular to me? I really kind of don't, but I do it for you for this reason. You see what I'm saying? What an odd situation to be in a spiritual hierarchy. Thank God there is one, but it's just unusual. I didn't want to eat most everything curry until I got to India, obviously, and you know, it's just funny. You have to walk this path and play this character, and this character overlay gets some, impact on you. And so unless you don't want to be fighting the character you have to play because that character is going to quit being functional. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Jay. All right, everyone. Listen, you all are doing great. So I hope I didn't come off sounding like any of you are doing great because I think you are. I think I'm getting to further into the knowledge and down to the particulars because I think that you kind of have the overview, and I'm trying to get down to the particulars which have meaning and affect your actions and pertain to exactly now. You know, that's my goal. All right. Okay. We made it today. Thanks for the support, really. I only want to give you the truth, so that your actions during the week reflect that. That's all. I don't have anything else to do. Like Bear said, the perfect masters only have the truth to give. They don't have anything else. I can't do your actions for you, but I can make them easy to choose, I think, with giving you the truth. That's all I can do. And I see all the people in here making all the correct actions. So, and it's not my truth. Well, what is the truth though? It's the big one in all the scriptures and all the doomsday. It's the one in every movie, and it's the one in every logo and every flag. It's the only thing. There's only one thing. So that's what we're talking about. That one thing. Okay, everyone. Now, Pamela, you're really the best too. I this is the difficulty of doing this job. I'm working for the best people, which is super hard because they're the best. And if I don't render the best service, I'm not doing my best because they're the best. You all are the best. So it makes my job hard, but I take it seriously and I'm going to continue to do my best. Thank you for the support, everyone. God bless you. Really, thank you all. I'll see you next week. Thank you, this Poe family, everyone listening later. God bless you. See you next week.